In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can make beautiful video thumbnails with your phone for free. Let's go. Hey, I'm Daniel and welcome to Uscreen Health and Fitness, the best place for personal trainers, yoga instructors, brick and mortar studio owners, and more to learn how to grow their business online. Thumbnails are arguably the single most important thing on your channel, followed closely by your titles and the content itself. Thumbnails are the first point of contact you have for new and returning visitors checking out your videos. In fact, thumbnails are the entry point to all video content online. It's pretty simple. If your thumbnails don't entice people to click, you don't get views. In my other video all about thumbnail design tips and best practices, I shared that your thumbnails need to include a few important things like clear imagery, basic text, vibrant color, expressive faces, and they need to create curiosity. If you haven't seen that video, I'd highly recommend clicking the link in the top right corner to watch that one next. Now, I've been getting some questions around how I create thumbnails, what software I use, how I structure mine, and more. Well, the short answer is that I use a nice camera to take a bunch of photos. I then edit the photos in Adobe Lightroom, and then I pull the thumbnail together using Adobe Photoshop. It's a multi-step process, and honestly, I'm probably being a little bit extra.
OMG, you're just so extra.
The honest truth is you absolutely don't need any of those things. In fact, a lot of creators can and do just use their phone. That's it. So in the rest of this video, I'll show you how you can make amazing thumbnails with just your smartphone and a few free simple apps. Let's dive in. If you've watched my other thumbnail video, you know that when applicable, faces make a great addition to your thumbnails. Humans are naturally drawn to other humans, and including a person in your thumbnails is usually a great idea as long as it's relevant to the content of the video. Just start with your smartphone. For this, I've got an iPhone, but please know this is applicable to those of you on Android as well. You can just use the regular camera app, as most of you don't need manual camera controls that are offered by some third-party camera app. In most cases, you should take your photos in landscape mode to give yourself more room to work with. A lot of the time when we photograph a person for a thumbnail, we end up removing the background later. But in the off chance that you want to use the entire photo for your thumbnail, then shooting like this is the way to go. Most phones these days have portrait mode, or at least a version of it. While the latest updates have that feature working well, it's still not perfect. If you're going to use an entire photo for a thumbnail and not remove the background, then portrait mode can be a great solution. If you've got a person in your photo, you'll also want to frame them to one side or the other so that if you don't remove the background, you still have room on the other side of the image for any text or visuals. If you're planning to remove the background, then just use the regular photo mode when shooting your thumbnails. Now get to shooting your photos. As a bonus tip, if you're planning to isolate your subject or swap out the background, it may be best to find a blank wall and take photos in front of that. With thumbnails, you're likely going to add some text, and you want the viewer's eyes to be drawn to the text rather than getting distracted by a busy background. Of course, this is subjective to you and your brand, so feel free to experiment, but if you're just getting started, then plain backgrounds are a great place to start. Last, be sure to take a lot of photos. It's better to have too many to choose from rather than not enough. Don't think of taking photos for just one thumbnail. Instead, use a variety of gestures and expressions so that you can come back and use these photos for other thumbnails in the future. If you don't want to use a photo of yourself or another person, or maybe you don't want any faces in your photos, then you might be interested in something like Unsplash.com. You could go out and try to take the pictures you want, or you can use this amazing free resource. They've got a website or a free mobile app, and it's an enormous catalog of freely usable images. Just head over there and search for whatever you might be looking for. Download the photo or save it to your phone, and then get ready to make some thumbnails. Believe it or not, Instagram is actually one of the better tools out there that you can use to make thumbnails.
What you doing, Mom?
I know, I thought it was a little weird too the first time I heard it, but then I saw it in action and I became a believer. Using the Instagram Stories tool, you can make high quality thumbnails for free right on your smartphone. Let's open the app. Then swipe right to get to your stories. Then swipe up to get to the photos in your camera roll. Tap the photo you want to use. We'll need to pinch to rotate the photo and get it to fill the screen. Once you've done that, you can tap to add some text. I know it's a minor annoyance to have to rotate your phone back and forth a few times, but it's much easier than some of the alternatives. With your text, I'd recommend using caps lock and be sure to keep it simple. Don't use your video title, but type something complimentary to both the photo and the title of your video. Then pinch to rotate the text and adjust the sizing and placement. You want this text to be super easy to read. You can add a box of color around the text or change the color and font. but ultimately any changes you make need to make the thumbnail easier to read and understand at a quick glance. Once you've gotten the image how you want, just click the download button. You can head over to your camera roll where you'll need to edit the photo and rotate the orientation so it's correct. If you have an Apple computer, you can just use the AirDrop feature to get the thumbnail image to your laptop, or if you use the YouTube Studio app, you can upload your thumbnail directly from your phone. If this video has been helpful so far, let's make this beautiful relationship official and have you hit that thumbs up button so YouTube knows we're getting along. Don't have an Instagram account and not interested in creating one? Or maybe you're nervous about accidentally posting a thumbnail to your stories? Don't sweat it, I've got you covered. There's another great free tool called Canva that you can use. The web version is available at canva.com, or you can download their mobile app on your phone for free. If you don't have an account, then set one up for free. When you're ready to design, just search for YouTube thumbnail and they actually have a bunch of templates available for you to choose from. You can pick any of those free options, but I'll start with just a blank design here. The principles are the same as when designing via Instagram or anywhere really. Simple, clear, and easy to understand is your best bet. Add each element that you'll need, like your photo, your text, and any other elements you might want. When you're finished, you can download the thumbnail and get it uploaded to your next video. Now, it's worth noting that Canva actually offers one really cool feature that Instagram does not, and that's a background remover tool. I actually use something similar when creating my thumbnails in Photoshop. Essentially, you can take a photo of yourself and then remove the background so you have more liberty when designing your thumbnail rather than being stuck with the background you photographed. However, the background remover tool is exclusive to Canva's Pro plan, so you'd have to upgrade to get access to that particular tool, but I think the subscriptions are pretty affordable. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you'd like me to show you my workflow for creating thumbnails with Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop in a future video, let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon.